Aloha and welcome to our video on the prokaryotes. In this video we'll look at the Archaebacteria and the Eubacteria. So to begin we're going to look at the Archaebacteria. Archaea means kind of like ancient, so we're looking at the older bacteria. These guys here are prokaryotes, and what that means is basically they have one membrane and then everything's going to be tucked inside of that one membrane. So it's kind of like a cell and everything's just kind of in there and mixing together and such like that. It's not separated out. We'll learn a little bit more about that when we get into the eukaryotic cells. Now, the Archaebacteria kind of represent what we think life was like when it first originated on the planet. These guys like to live in extreme environments. We have what we call our thermoacidophiles. These guys like the extreme heat and the extreme acidity. We also have halophiles, which are very salty areas, high concentrations of salt water. And then we'll have the methanogens here, which will convert carbon dioxide into methane. So three totally bizarre kinds of bacteria in the sense that they don't do what we normally expect of them. And they live in these really harsh kind of what we thought the Earth was like when it was just forming. So the Archaebacteria we think is the closest relation to or living remnant of what life started as on our planet. Now the Eubacteria, or the true bacteria, these guys are also prokaryotic cells. So what that means is that they have this outer membrane and a cell membrane, but they don't have any organelles inside of the cell. So the DNA is just kind of there and just kind of hangs out. With the Eubacteria, this is the bacteria that we're most familiar with. And what we'll notice is that it gets its name based on its shape. So our big three ones here are going to be Bacillus, and the Bacillus are kind of these rod-shaped cells, and that's like kind of the one that we see over here. We have the Cosi, or the coccyx, and that one's going to be these circles, and we can have two of them like a Diplococcus, a bunch of them in a chain like a Streptococcus, and then they can be all knotted up like Staphylococcus. So we can see that it's all these circular shapes. And then the last one is the spirillum down here, and that's going to be kind of spirally shaped there. So our Eubacteria are prokaryotic, so they do have that one membrane that separates them, so it's kind of like a filled water balloon full of gunk, and then they get their names based on these shapes. And in the lessons, what they're going to do is they'll go over a couple more specific examples so you can kind of see some of those guys like E. coli and things of that. So that's it for our video. Good luck with the lessons. Like I said, they'll go into a little bit more detail, and as always, we'll see you in the next video.